Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is your lecture number 8 from General Anatomy for the first professional MBBS. The topic is fascia. I am Dr. Kalimullah, Demonstrator, Anatomy Department, GKMC Swabi. The fascia. By definition, the fascia is a fibrous connective tissue. I have mentioned CT. CT means connective tissue. It binds together various structures of the body. There are two types of the fascia, the superficial fascia and the deep fascia. The superficial fascia, it lies just below the dermis of the dermal layer of the skin. It is also called the hypodermis, the subcutaneous layer, the fatty layer, or the panniculus adiposus. It is composed of loose areolar tissues with fat cells. Within it, there are collagen fibers, elastic tissues, fibroblasts, connective tissues, and ground substance, a gel-like material, the ground substance. The superficial fascia is a general coating. It generally coats the entire surface of the body and it determines the shape of the body. It surrounds the organs, the glands, the neurovascular bundles, and it fills the unoccupied places in the body. The distribution of the superficial fascia. It is more abundant and evenly distributed in the female, and it is abundant in the regions the gluteal region, the lumbar, the thighs, the anterior abdominal wall, the mammary glands, the post-deltoid region, the region behind the deltoid muscle, the cervicothoracic region, the region in between the neck and the thoracic cage. The superficial fascia is absent from some areas like the eyelids, the external ear, the penis, and the scrotum, and it fills the axillary area, the orbit, and around the kidneys, which is called the perinephric fat. The types of fats. The fats are two types, white and brown fat. The white fat, it is present in mammalian, and these are the storage of energy, and these are thermal insulators. The brown fat, it is present in newborn and hibernating animals, and these are rich in mitochondria. On the right side, you can see the yellow spots in the human body. These are the visceral fat pads and the subcutaneous fat pads. The visceral fat pads are present around the visceral organs, and the subcutaneous fat pads are beneath the skin. In the lower diagram, you can see the brown fat present in the human body in the para-aortic, paravertebral, and perinephric area and in the neck. The deep fascia, uh, it is just beneath the fatty layer or the superficial fascia, and by definition, it is dense fibrous connective tissue. The superficial fascia was, if you remember, was a loose areolar connective tissue, and it is dense fibrous connective tissue. It invests the body beneath the superficial fascia. The characteristics of the deep fascia. The deep fascia surrounds muscles, nerves, bones, blood vessels, and it is devoid of fat, and it is inelastic and tough in nature. The distribution of deep fascia. It is best defined in the limbs, the upper limbs and the lower limbs. ill-defined on the trunk and face. It forms tight and tough sleeves around the organs, and it forms collar around the neck, which is called the deep fascia of the cervical region. Some important features are the some important structures which is made up of deep fascia. These are the intermuscular septa. The septa surrounds the muscles and the muscles groups. The reticula surrounds the tendons of the muscles, and these reticula are present at the wrist region and the ankle region as shown in the diagram above. And joint capsule is also found by the deep fascia. The coverings around nerve and muscles, the tendon, the aponeurosis. The aponeurosis is a flat sheet-like structure by which a muscle inserts. This is present in the palmar region, in the sole region of the foot, and in the anterior abdominal wall especially. The sheaths around the blood vessels and the interosseous membrane, which is present between the two parallel bones, which are present in two places, that is the upper limb, the forearm, the radius and ulna, and in the lower limb, the tibia and the fibula. The interosseous membrane, it supports the positions of the both of the bones and also provide muscle attachment sites, the synovial membranes, and the bursa. The bursa is a pad-like structure. Within it, a gel-like substance is present, and it provides an easy surface for the passage of a tendon over a bone in order to avoid friction of the tendon against the bone. The coverings of muscles and the nerves. The entire muscle and the entire nerve is covered. We have discussed it in the sections of the nerve and the muscle. The if you remember the in the case of muscle, the epimysium, the perimysium, and the endomysium, and the epineurium, the endoneurium, and the perineurium in case of a nerve. This is also formed by the deep fascia. In this slide, you can see the giant capsule, which is formed by the deep fascial uh, structure and the interosseous membrane present in between the two bones, and the tendon sheath, which is formed by the deep fascia in a tunnel-like structure, which provides a lubricant and a smooth, easy passage for the to and fro movement of the muscle tendon. Now the ligaments. These are tough fibrous bands of connective tissue. These supports the internal organs and hold the bones. The composition of a ligament is it is composed of collagenous fibers and fibrocytes with a ground substance in gel-like material. The types of ligaments are the some are collagenous, inelastic, and some are elastic ligaments. The types of ligaments. The articular. These are present around the joints. The peritoneal. These are present in the abdomen, made up of the peritoneum, and remember that peritoneum forms three types of structures. The mesentery, the omentum, and the ligaments are the folds. The fetal remnants. In the developmental life, some structures of the tubular structures remains, and these are called the fetal remnants, like the ligamentum arteriosum in the heart. The periodontal ligament. These are present in the tooth socket, and these are fibers attached to the cementum of the teeth to the surrounding alveolar bone. The refi. It is an intersection in a tissue or organ between two separate parts, particularly when they were embryologically separate from each other. The fused ends of two opposite flat muscle sheets form a refi in the midline. The examples of muscles are mylohyoid refi. It is present in the uh, oral floor, and anococcygeal refi, the anococcygeal muscle, which is present in the pelvic floor, the scrotal refi in the scrotum, and the perineal refi, and the tongue refi in the mid line. The midline of the tongue is called the tongue refi. In this slide, you can see the example of the refi regarding the muscle, the mylohyoid refi at the floor of the oral cavity. On the right side, you can see the penile refi in the penis, and the refi, the scrotal refi, and it is continued down toward the anus as a perineal refi. Thank you, students. With this, we finished the general anatomy. Next time, we will start with the gross anatomy, region wise. Till that time, God bless you. Wish you best of luck. Thank you.